What's up? What going? How you doing? Hang on in there. What's up, y'all? Stay on in there. Stay on in there. We just loaded. You know what I'm saying? We loading right now. How's it going? Right now, this a truth talk. Okay? This a truth talk. Don't worry. None of my students have to worry about anything. But due to recent observation, just in my own environment, wagwan, you know, I've been seeing some strange shit. Particularly from the male demographic. Wagwan, how you doing? That's the crone right there. Y'all be on your best behavior. So, regardless of everything else that's going on right now, we do know that the planet is moving back into a matriarchy, right? Like, we do know that the patriarchy, the male dominance, the competitive, aggressive nature has been the problem for quite some time now, right? The man-made male god has been a problem for quite some time now, right? Mama Universe, Sister Earth, they're upset. And rightfully so. Because every woman on the planet right now, and I mean every woman on the planet right now, has been treated unfairly on a political standpoint, on a financial standpoint, on a relationship standpoint, on a work standpoint, on an academic standpoint, an athletic standpoint. Do I need to go on for the last maybe 2,000, 3,000 years? And I see a lot of, Wagwan, how you doing? How you doing? I see a lot of men coming out right now, particularly at this time since 2024 and 2023 started, just these last year and a half. And I gotta tell you, fellas, Divine Masculine as a collective, we're gonna have to call some shit out, man. Because I'm seeing a lot of bitch-ass behavior. I'm seeing a lot of weak-minded, inferior, insecure behavior from so-called men. And, you know, I'm not here to talk about women because I'm not a fucking woman. I have my own opinions. But right now, what's with all the hate? Why do men hate women so much right now? What's the problem? I mean, are y'all mad that women caught up on game and that now they're beating men who want to be players and max but aren't, and try to basically diminish the female image? I mean, yeah, well, go on. Yeah, listen. We all understand that things aren't necessarily right and balanced right now, okay? But understand that as males, we have role models. And we have had role models. Well, go on, Webster. But as women, especially indigenous women, who's the last role model of a good, strong female? Do they have any? They don't have any. So, when you don't have something to stand on, it's kind of hard to stand on principle when women, the modern female psyche is controlled by the beauty industry and the modeling industry. You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10, women are doing things to seek the approval of men, and now it's to the point to where they think that's what we want, because that was the message we were sending for the past 20 years. Now that women are players and better at playing than men, I noticed a lot of hate coming from men, and I'm here to talk about it, because unfortunately we have to rise up the divine feminine. We have to protect the divine feminine. Okay? Now as men, we haven't had the best fucking behavior either. Okay? I was born in 1996, and me and along with a lot of my friends didn't have male father figures. So I hear a lot of hate about my generation, but let's talk about it. Wagwan. Let's talk about it. You see, because the men who hate on my generation have to understand we grew up in a generation where the majority of us didn't have males in the house. So whose fault is it? Women can't make babies on their own. Right? So you could say a lot of these things have been systematic. Yes. You could say a lot of these things are political. Yes. But at some point as men, especially the divine masculine, we have to take accountability for our actions. I'm seeing a lot of bitch-ass behavior from men. Period. We're here as the divine masculine to be protectors, to safeguard the helpless, not to slut shame and bash the helpless. And a lot of this content that I'm seeing men make is bashing people who need to be helped and protected. If your cup is full and you got it figured out as a male, when you see another man down, why you gonna call him a simp? When you see a woman doing better than you, doing the same shit you would do as a single male, popping, slinging dick, why is she a hoe? Y'all both like to fuck. Y'all both ain't loyal. But it's different when a guy does it, right? Well, go on. Welcome in. This whole double standard shit is over in 2024. I don't give a fuck how buff you are. Put a fucking shirt on. Put a shirt on. Why? Because if women start walking around with their fucking shirts off, you're going to get uncomfortable. Right or wrong? Now, I'm not saying there's equality, because there will never be an equality. You have to understand women are good at things men are not good at. Men are good at things women are not good at. But we need each other. It's a balance. Okay? You cannot have one without the other. Last time I checked, none of us had our first breath and saw our first sight coming out of a penis. Okay? We came out of a nice, warm, cushy vagina. Just saying. Yes, we were developed in swimming in our father as water spirits, pure consciousness, and we found the egg. And the help of the divine feminine incubated and molded us into beings. Okay? Well, go on. Come on in. It's okay, Mr. Synchronicity. Little Feather, wagwan, wagwan. My nigga 13, Soldier, wagwan. Webster, wagwan. Divine Entity. How y'all doing now? This is the talk of the talk. This that truth talk right now. And unfortunately, I'm seeing a lot of bitch-ass behavior from men. And we're going to talk about it. Because as a king, as a god, you're a guardian first. A protector second. Okay? Now, we can't change the flaws. We can't change what happened to us as men. But we can change our behavior. And we can heal. We can help the divine feminine heal their wounds. We can help the divine feminine heal their wounds. Okay? Because they're not going to be able to heal us until we heal them. You have to understand, a male energy is the one, the leader. You have to take the leader. It's so interesting you're bringing this up. I was literally having this conversation 20 minutes ago with a friend. That's right. It's a balance. Now we can see the bullshit women are doing, but I'm not here to talk about women. I'm here to talk about men today. And what I'm going to say is it feels like men want to be women. Y'all want women to give you flowers. Y'all want women to hold the door open for you. Y'all want women to buy you gifts and shit. Listen. If your woman does that for you, that's fine. But you have to understand, as a man, you're not obligated to do anything either. So the fact that you do these things and you expect something in return, that's not unconditional love. Because if you're doing something out of the goodness of your heart, you're not going to expect a favor in return. You're not going to expect pussy out of the end because you love that person, because you like that person. You want to do something nice. Not because you expect something in return. If you're doing that, then you're not doing it out of the goodness and kindness of your heart as a male. Now, are we? So can you get mad? Really? Can you really get mad? Whenever, as a man, you want to get some pussy. So you take a girl out. You buy her all these nice gifts. You wine and dine them, right? You spend all this money, and then you don't get what you wanted. Who asked you to do all this? No, you just assumed that if you did all this, you'd get fucking laid. Unfortunately, I hate to say this, and this is true. This is very true what I'm about to say. Maybe it's your fault for buying shit in the first place, expecting something. Maybe your breakfast will stay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, ask you me. Assume. Maybe it was your fault as a male for assuming that every woman is a hoe and can be bought with a meal and some clothes or a fucking Birkin bag. Maybe if you just stop taking advice from single men online who don't have a woman, you would understand why it's so hard for you as a male online to get a woman. You gotta understand, a lot of these dudes who are saying this shit about women don't have a fucking woman. They don't have a wife. They don't have kids. They're literally a player, running around doing the same shit these women are doing, judging them. But it's okay because they're a guy. We're not doing that shit anymore. It's 2024. The patriarchy is over. I'm sorry. I'm not a fucking feminist. I'm a man. But I'm just keeping it real. I'm also a father of 2 daughters. And I'm not going to allow some shit that I grew up in and saw the way women were treated, especially coming from a mother who had 5 kids. And out of the 5 siblings, I am the youngest out of all 5 of us with 3 sisters and a brother. So me and my brother had 3 fucking sisters that were older than us and a mom, and primarily a whole bunch of aunties that were also single mothers. So you have to understand, as a male, I understand what it's like to be a man, but I also understand the pain of a woman, how you leave a trail of women and a trail of broken hearts down the road of a man when you're trying to figure out yourself. You hurt all these women along the path of you trying to figure out who the fuck you are as a man. But it's cool because you're a player, you're a Mac, you're a pimp. But if a woman does the same thing, she's a hoe. You're a fucking hoe. You'd be broke real quick with a mindset of people pleasing. Exactly. That's the problem. Men, it's no longer about being a man. Listen, I work in the fucking warehouse. I do hard work, labor. I move fucking bricks. Everything in my department is over 50 pounds. Okay? You know how many fucking women work harder than the men at my job? And it's probably usually the motherfucker who comes home in a bad mood like, oh, I worked so hard. Work was this. Work was that. Let me tell you something. That motherfucker didn't do shit all day. He was either in the break room or the bathroom the whole fucking time. Meanwhile, I see women working hard are the young bucks that the majority of the people that I see talk shit about working hard. I don't see this demographic of men holding doors open for women. I see men wanting to get the door open and held for them. I see men acting like fucking mean girls. Wagwan. Let me tell you something. I'm a handsome male. I've never had a problem getting women. I've never had a problem making friends. You know what I've noticed? Wagwan. a lot of men have an insecurity of or a fear of being rejected. So by the time they get rejected, they're gonna start saying a whole bunch of shit, right? That they don't mean. Well, go out and come folk. How y'all doing? Come on in, come on in. Welcome to the Truth Talk. Come and see. Now, trigger warning for those bitch ass motherfucking people who need a goddamn trigger warning. What I'm gonna say might offend some people, but god damn it, it needs to be said. We're in a time where the patriarchy, the male dominant world is falling. That shit is over. Kiss it goodbye. Finito. Sorry. It's done. And we could understand what state we're living in, what times we're in right now due to the environment and the species constantly going into extinction. You see the state of the music, the state of the movies, and I constantly see and hear about men beating women, men killing women, men selling women, men drugging women, men drugging other men, men raping other men. Listen, the minute a male gets some power and some money, they do anything with their dick. Well, go on, how's it going? And personally, I'm sick of it. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm gonna say it how it is. That is not being supreme. That is not being alpha. That is not being righteous. That is you being stuck in your lower state, your lower level of life, running off of your penis, judging every woman that rejects you because you can't get none. And understand, you can't be mad at these young girls. You can't be mad at these women. You can't be mad at these hoes. You can't be mad at these thoughts, especially if you want to call yourself religious. I'm not religious. I'm an extremely spiritual being. I'm an extremely divine being. But understand, even Mary Magdalene, the harlot, was Jesus' closest disciple in your so-called doctrine that you all love to scream and teach and quote about so much. That's right. Jesus' closest disciple was a whore, a prostitute. Did Jesus judge her? Or did he bring her close to him and raise her up? Think about that for a second. You see, we always like to say shit like, don't judge a book by its cover. But the minute we see a little thotty body, you know, she might be fast. Yeah, she might got a couple bodies under her belt. But that's still somebody's daughter. And she needs to be treated as such. That's still somebody's sister. And she needs to be treated as such. You don't have to agree with everybody's actions. Okay? Some people might not even know what they do. They might not know better. If you know better, you would do better. But look at the state of the world we're living in. You can't blame these young motherfuckers for walking around talking and acting the way that they do. When what do you see on TV? What do you hear in music? What do you see on the TV shirts? Better yet, what do you see grown motherfucking people doing around them since they were children? The same shit these fucking kids are doing now. Toting guns, popping pussy, and shaking ass. You can't blame it all on one generation because did y'all forget about the Freaknik parties? Oh, y'all so fast. Oh, this music is terrible. Do I have to remind y'all of a woman named Aretha Franklin and Millie Jackson? Do I have to remind y'all who the fuck Millie Jackson is? Who the fuck Millie Jackson was? What type of album covers she had? Y'all better stop with this one-sided bullshit. Talking about, oh, this generation is over flamboyant. This generation of man is weak and gay. Explain to me, Prince. Explain, Prince. Yeah. As conscious as I am, I'm still young and foolish as it is. Never heard the harlot story. Just knew the J-Man was a good Jew who had a bad rep. Didn't know about Mary. Oh no, yeah. Read the story of the harlot and why she had to wear an A on her clothes. Mary was popping that pussy. And she was the closest disciple to Jesus. So if he didn't judge her, why everybody else? Why, go on. Welcome in. We having that truth talk. How are women supposed to be led when there's no males leading them? How are women supposed to be nurtured? How is a woman supposed to go into her soft woman era when she gotta be the woman and the man? You know what I'm saying? You got all these niggas who want to be gangster. You got all these niggas who want to be thugs. You know what I'm saying? What happened to chivalry? What happened to, okay, yeah, she a hoe, so what? Don't talk about her like that. Nah, it's cool now, right? Focusing so deep on morals will have you blind, for real. Being open-minded, you will see someone can change. Exactly. Damn, makes way more sense now. Exactly. Think about this shit for a second. Who do we have? You can't just blame it on Megan Thee Stallion. You can't just blame it on fucking Nicki Minaj, because what about Lil' Kim? Y'all forget about Trina? Y'all forget about the baddest bitch, Trina? Y'all forget about Bad Girls Club? You can't just blame all this shit on baddies. What about Bad Girls Club? What about whenever this shit was such a cool trend to indoctrinate the young female mind, they came out with brat dolls. How do brat dolls look? Peace. What about the LOL dolls today? Looks very reminiscent of Ice Spice, doesn't it? All I'm saying is the proof is in the pudding, and instead of trying to do something about it, all men seem to give a fuck about is men. Let me tell you something, everybody has mental health. Oh, it's mental health day. Man, we go through this. Man, we go through that. I'm not talking about the good men. There are good men out there that have been hurt. But you know a good saying that a lot of males in this generation tend to forget? Hurt people hurt people. So, what makes you so... Think about this. I'm not saying the situation's right. We all know what child support has done. We all know what private prisons do to keep the man out of the household. We all know what government assistance does to keep the male out of the household. I'm not speaking on those situations. That shit's done by design. What I'm talking about is, as a father, if someone takes your kid away and says, you can't see them, as a father, let me tell you something right motherfucking now. Let somebody try to take away visitation rights of me and my kids. I'm about to do everything in my motherfucking power to see my babies, because it's that important to me. A lot of niggas talk about being a dad, but if it was that serious, why don't they have them? You can't just say because, oh, the mom is crazy, oh, because the mom is this, oh, because the family is that. Because I've seen both sides of the motherfucking coin. I seen where the dad was the father, and he was a single fucking father, and the mom wasn't shit. And let me tell you something, the mom still got child support, because the dad allowed it. I done seen situations where the mom was a great mom, and fucked up one time. And because of that one time, can't see her fucking kid no more. And now the kid is with a dad that's a piece of shit. But because the dad makes more money and looks better on paperwork, the kid went to that with that asshole instead of the actual good parent. So it's not just so fucking black and white. There's gray areas that you gotta examine. You gotta keep an open mind with this shit here. It's not just like, you can't just sit here and blame everything on Megan Thee Stallion whenever we've been sexualizing the female artist since the 90s. It's 2024. Take fucking accountability for what we have allowed as males, because it was okay with the Humpty Hump. It was okay when I get around. It was okay with everywhere I go I see the same hoe. It was alright. It was okay to be a womanizing man for the past 25 years. And now that women are getting some fucking payback, you guys hate it. Some men need the tribe of brothers. Trauma is a bitch. Exactly. Trauma is a bitch. Hurt people hurt people. But instead of getting together with other men that are hurt to justify your ego, why don't you get with men that are healed and take advice from men that are in a fucking relationship that's healthy, where they're not simping and they do have a good woman and they don't do you have to understand that 50-50 shit doesn't exist. Take it from me. I've been with my woman for fucking 11 years. 50-50 don't exist. Sometimes as a man you ain't got 50 fucking percent. Sometimes as a woman, she ain't got fucking 50%. Sometimes as a woman, she got 25, and you're gonna have to pick up the pace, nigga. Sometimes you're sick. You got maybe 5% after work, and your wife maybe might have 10%, and y'all gonna have to tag team that shit and get it together. It's called balance. It's called empathy. It's called compassion. It's called understanding. Something that a lot of men don't have unless you're a fucking man. Like, what happened to just being a man about shit? I see men crying on the internet. Oh, this was wrong. Oh, she didn't do this. Oh, shut the fuck up. Focus on yourself. Get on the ground. Do some fucking push-ups. Go sun gaze. Get over it. Bro, get over it. It's called payback's a bitch. What go on? How y'all doing? I'm 28 years old. I'm a father. I have a 7-year-old daughter and a 5-year-old daughter. And back in the day, I was a player. Until I met my wife, who changed my life and got me off the fucking streets. And we both had past. You think she judged me for my past? You think I judged her for her past? No. You want to know why? Because that shit didn't happen. You know what's happening? You know what's real? What we have? Men are so caught up in the body count and this and that and this and that. Well, what about your fucking body count? You know what I'm saying? What about your fucking body count? How many women have you slept with? Oh, nah, that got you cool points, right? That made you the man, right? You know, sex is an energetic exchange. And every time you have a partner and you lay with somebody, they take a piece of you. And in return, you take a piece of them. So by the time you get with another person, nobody's whole. So you can't just judge one demographic based off of what you see being televised. You know what I'm saying? Maybe try to understand that the female generation from 1990 to 2000 now has been broken and raised in a very misogynistic patriarchy world that viewed females as objects and sex tools, all the way down to the 1920s, where you had pinup women, where you had indigenous woman by the name of Josephine Baker, who had to make a career shaking her ass because that was the only way the entertainment industry would take her seriously. What about Marilyn Monroe, who had to do what she had to do and got diddied, where everyone she was around was treating her like P. Diddy, and she had to work what her mama gave her to fit in. You see, people just like to judge women for their decisions, but it's okay when a man does it. Well, guess what? All that shit is fucking over now. All that shit is over. The matriarchy is rising, unfortunately. And as the mother rises and my sister Earth cleans up her fucking planet, you have to understand we have to rise up the female demographic. We can't, we as males, we're healing. So as spiritual men, the divine masculine, we have to stop this fucking competition and raise each other up. And then, like, remember, you can't have one without the other. Nothing is separate. Nothing is separate. You have the anema and the animus. You have the penile and you have the pituitary. You have the sun and you have the moon. Then you got the man and the woman. We need each other. Then you have the species that's been around since the 1960s, maybe even later, where spiritually they're a woman but physically they're a man, or spiritually they're a man but physically they're a woman. And instead of judging them and calling them all these fucked up derogatory terms, as indigenous people, why don't we try to have empathy for them and understand why they feel the way they feel, why they go through what they go through. I'm not saying you have to support it if you don't agree with it, but stop judging. He without sin cast the first stone, for you Bible thumpers, right? Last time I checked, nobody's perfect. Last time I checked, we all have a shadow. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just judge somebody. And what anybody does with their body parts is no one's fucking business but theirs. And now we live in a world where if you're a man, anything a woman does with her vagina is your business. Anything a gay man does is your business because you're a man. That's not the way it works. If it bothers you so much, why do you care? Let's just start there. Because if men didn't care as much as they say they didn't care, they wouldn't be as emotionally triggered by the shit as they are. So what's really going on? It's scared. They'll feel it in a big way. Yes. 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 It's a balance. You see, in ancient Kemet, we have this symbol. A symbol that everybody knows. The Ankh. A lot of people don't know that the Ankh is actually a symbol of the unity of masculine and feminine energy combined. It's the yoni and the phallus. It's the Libra and the scales. It's both. The Ankh is not just masculine, it's not just feminine. It's an androgynous symbol that speaks to the mind, that speaks to the soul, to understand the balance of both. When you understand the laws of the heart, you understand the laws of love, you know what I'm saying? It's deeper than the flesh. UNITY, unity. Now, how are you going to be a king without a queen? Love conquers all. So if there's no love, if there's no new friends, if there's no moon to your sun, when do you see the stars? If there's no one to the one, when are you going to become a family? When are you going to become the Trinity? So there's an imbalance. And in nature, there's an imbalance. And you see this with the planet. It's this versus that. Nah, she's a hoe. Nah, he's a simp. Nah, she's a thought. No, you're just judgmental as fuck and can't pull anybody because you're too shallow. Or better yet, you want to be a woman and you have pussy envy. I went from seeing women want to be a man and have penis envy to a fucking man wanting to be a woman and have pussy envy. Like, this is not okay. They're trying to confuse everybody hard. They're trying to make the divine masculine against the divine feminine. They're trying to make the divine feminine against the divine masculine. They're trying to use the elements against each other. They're trying to use disrupt your heart and mind connection and weaponize frequencies and sound and use our emotions and our love for our people against us. They do this shit. God damn, that's some good weed. Got a punch to it. They do this shit intentionally. Why do you think as the times go on, you see more girls dressing up like boys and more boys dressing up like girls? And when you have a conversation with these people, they're like one of the dudes. They're like one of the girls, regardless if they're straight or not. It's an energy thing. These people who are being born are more advanced than we're giving them credit to. You have to understand, some of these people are born in the balance of the masculine and the feminine. But they want to put everybody in a box. And they also want to concentrate on what they do with their fun parts, which is nobody's business but their own. This is the problem. Then everything is over-sexualized. You have fucking sex references in kid movies. Everything is over-sexualized. To where back in the day, everybody was doing it with cigarettes. Everybody was doing it with acid. Everybody was doing it going to the club. Now everybody's doing it with drill music and being a thug and being a thought, because what example have we set? What behaviors have we corrected? This shit doesn't start with the TV. This shit doesn't start in school. Yes, this shit starts in-house. You see, as a kid growing up, I saw a lot of shit I wasn't supposed to see. Thankfully, I had a good mother. But I saw some shit I wasn't supposed to see. And everybody ain't perfect. Your kids are going to get exposed to some shit. But it's up to the parent to navigate them through that. And some of these conversations are hard to have. But if people are as spiritual and as enlightened as they claim, why is this not being done? Why are there 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, 20-year-olds going to jail for killing each other and selling dope and drugs? Well, maybe if they didn't feel the need to grow up fast and get money to support their families, get money to support their jobs, sell drugs to fit in because all the rappers are doing it. That's all I see on TV. Maybe this shit wouldn't happen. Maybe if shit was right in house, like it was in my house with one parent, with a single mother, my father was in and out, maybe things could be corrected. So it's not necessarily just the music. Yes, frequency vibration plays a part in it, but ultimately the mind is all. So if you have a strong enough will, you can't blame it on the music. Just how if you have a strong enough will, you can't blame it on the alcohol. You can't blame it on the drugs. You were fully fucking aware of what you did or what you're doing. You just want to use that as a crutch or a scapegoat to take away from the responsibility of you as a person facing your music, facing your bullshit. This is nothing different. I see men gaslighting women, being narcissists for the same shit we've been doing consecutively and consistently for the past 50 years. How many people you know growing up got stepbrothers, half-brothers, and half-sisters? Same mom, different dads. Never same dad, different moms, right? Bullshit. We just don't talk about it because we made it okay. We tried to justify it because that was the way it was at the time, right? No, right is right and wrong is wrong. And unfortunately, we just blindly comply to shit as citizens in America all the time until it's too late. And then when it's too late, now we want to talk about it. Well, I have kids. And I'm pretty sure other people have kids. I'm not going to fucking wait until it's too late. I'm not going to wait until I see more kids on the news because they fucking overdosed from fentanyl, because they're in the fucking mental institution, because they don't understand how to have discernment, because they want to chat with an AI bot and kill themselves, because a kid wanted to fucking try a pill, because a kid wanted to smoke a vape that wasn't even fucking weed. Like, when is enough gonna be enough? When is enough gonna be enough? How many more people have to die? How many more kids have to die? How many more kids have to go to jail before we wake up as a collective and step up and understand that this is bigger than us? Drastic and aggressive action must be taken. We need that shock factor across the board. I got the same dad, different moms on my end. Never met Pops. He said, hold that thought, and took off on his Harley motorcycle. Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, all he left us was a stone. Papa was a rolling stone, because wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, interesting. And we just went along with the shit like it was okay, right? We're gonna let mama take care of everything. We're gonna let mama cook. We're gonna let mama take care of the kids. We're gonna let mama pay for everything. And we're gonna blame everything on mama when shit go wrong. It never occurred to anybody that maybe some of this shit could be dad's fault. And like I said, I'm not speaking for the good fathers. I'm not talking about the good man out there. I'm talking about these bitch ass pieces of shit that disguise themselves as good parents, as good men, as a loyal man, when all they do is slang dick and judge women. That's the shit I'm talking about. Because let me tell you something. As a lot of men in this generation probably don't know our fathers, do we? Probably don't know our dads. Probably never met the dad. Probably don't get along with our father. But we all have a great relationship with our mothers. We all have a great relationship with our sisters. Or we all got that one auntie or that grandma who looked out for us. That's the divine feminine. And as you growing up, if you felt that energy of what it's like not to have a father in the house, why the fuck would you do it to another person? Instead of changing your behavior. Like I said earlier, we can't change what happened to us. It happened to us. And it wasn't fair. And it wasn't right. But guess what? Life still goes on. We have a choice to change our behavior. Because if you change your behavior, you change your reality. You know, I wasn't the best kid growing up. I was bad. And I had a sick mother. I love my mom always. But I was a little piece of shit. What can I say? Kids, right? But growing up, now as I'm a parent, everything that woman taught me was true. It was all right. It was never a lie, which led me on my path. The whole reason I got into holistic medicine and wanted to get spiritual was to help find a cure for my mother. Ultimately, by the time we did, the damage was done with medicine and it was too late. But that's where the drive comes from. To protect and serve that divine feminine essence. That when you came out of that womb, your first instinct, whether you know it or not, in your subconscious mind, made her your God. And now, you see, I see so much men talking down on women. Well, if you didn't have an OnlyFans, you could probably get a man. Well, if you didn't sleep around whatever dude you met, you could probably get a man. Well, if you weren't so judgmental, maybe if you lowered your standards as a woman, you could probably get a man. Like, I see all these one-sided fucking gaslighting ass narcissistic videos all the time. And you know what the sad part is? They have hundreds of thousands of likes, hundreds and thousands of views, hundreds and thousands of retweets, hundreds and upon thousands of fucking shares. And it's narcissistic gaslighting bullshit. And they're just eating it up. Had a good father, just wasn't my blood. But everything in life is divinely orchestrated. You see? It takes a man. That is an example of a true man. A man who's willing to step up, raise up the divine feminine, and not only that, take on the responsibility of another man and raise that man's child as his own. How many men can you say are doing that today, but they want to judge every woman who has a fucking OnlyFans? Maybe if y'all niggas weren't so goddamn broke, maybe if y'all niggas had fucking skills, knew how to build some shit, maybe if y'all niggas wasn't so worried about being gangsters and had all fucking 13 goddamn felonies, motherfucking 35 million motherfucking tattoos on your body, maybe you can get a good job. Maybe you could take care of a family. But no, shawty wanna be a thug. So of course y'all niggas is broke. And of course these women gotta go get an OnlyFans. How else? It's the same shit with stripping. All this shit when I was growing up about, oh, she's a stripper, you don't want to do this. Oh, she's a stripper, you don't want to do that. 9 times out of 10, every stripper I met had a good heart and they were down to earth as fuck. Most of the time they started stripping because they were trying to pay for their classes. They weren't stripping because nowadays it's okay to strip because that's just what they do. People need to stop seeking relationship advice on the net. Yes, they need to stop seeking relationship advice. And then on top of that, you understand, most of the men who are giving this fucking relationship advice to these young, impressionable men don't have a woman. They don't have kids. How you gonna try to lead somebody and be a voice when you don't even have a fucking child? You ain't even leading your household. You don't have a household. You got an account online. You can't keep a woman for longer than 6 months, most of these motherfuckers. But they're going to tell you everything that's wrong with a woman.